The trip to 𝗟𝗲𝗳𝗃 was long and dusty. On the bus, Tegeri sat quietly with his rough hands on his knees. He heard the fishing industry there was good. He had never fished before, but he was ready to learn. He needed to provide for his kids. When the bus rolled into the small town by the river, he could smell fish and water. The place was busy. Women were haggling in the market, and fishermen were unloading their catch from the boats. Tegeri felt a spark of hope. Maybe this town could give him some stability. The first days were hard. The fishing dogs were full of experienced fishermen. They knew how to fix nets and clean fish. Tegeri approached Soko, a big man respected by the others. "I am looking for work," Tegeri said, keeping his voice steady. Soko looked him over. "You don't look like you have fished before." "I haven't," Tegeri said, "but I want to learn." Soko shrugged. "Show up at dawn. If you can keep up, maybe I'll hire you." The next morning, Tegeri arrived before the sun came up. He joined Soko and the crew on the boat. The nets were heavy and the river was unpredictable. The hours were long, but Tegeri didn't complain, even though his hands were blistered. By the end of the week, Soko finally said, "You are tougher than you look. You might just make it here." Weeks passed and Tegeri found his new groove in 𝗟𝗲𝗳𝗃. He earned just enough to send money home. Dangana and 𝗪𝗲𝗄 could stay in school. They motivated him, especially when he felt worn out. At the docks, he made friends with Kulani, a young woman who sold food. She was always smiling and often served some food for him since he rarely ate during the day. "You work too hard," she joked one day, handling him a bowl of fish stew. "You need to take care of yourself, Tegeri." "I'm okay," he replied, taking the food. "My kids are my priority." She smiled softly. "You're a good man. Not many would do what you are doing." Her kindness touched him, but he kept his distance. The pain from 𝗪𝗁𝗲𝗪𝗔's betrayal was still fresh. He couldn't think about love again. Back home in Odubo, Dangana and 𝗪𝗲𝗄 were doing well despite everything. Dangana, now a teenager, studied late into the night with a kerosene lamp. He dreamed of being an engineer and often drew designs in the dirt outside their house. 𝗪𝗲𝗄 found a love for carpentry, with help from a local carpenter. He learned to make simple stools and tables. The brothers supported each other. Their bond grew stronger while their father was away. But life wasn't easy. Other kids made fun of them. "Where is your mother?" they teased. "Did she leave because your dad is too poor?" One day, Dangana had enough. "Say that again and you'll regret it," he warned, fists clenched. The kids laughed, but before it escalated, Doko stepped in. "Leave them alone," she said, waving her cane. "You don't understand their life." That evening, Dangana wrote a letter to Tegeri. "Abba, we are strong. Don't worry about us. Just come home when you can." In 𝗟𝗲𝗃, Tegeri's life changed unexpectedly. One night, after a long day at the docks, Soko invited him to a gathering at his house. The men sat around the fire, drinking palm wine and sharing stories. As they talked about family, Tegeri opened up about his kids and his sacrifices. The men listened, mixing admiration and pity in their looks. "You're a rare man, Tegeri," Soko finally said. "Most could have given up." "I can't give up," Tegeri replied. "My kids need me." His words hung in the air, showing his unwavering determination. One rainy evening, as Tegeri walked back to his room, he noticed a familiar figure hiding under a tree. It was 𝗪𝗁𝗲𝗪. She looked different. Her eyes were empty, and her appearance were messy. She barely looked at him as he approached. "What are you doing here?" he asked, surprised and cautious. Her lips shook as she spoke. "Soko left me. I have nowhere else to go." Tegeri felt anger, pity, and disbelief swelled inside him. Part of him wanted to walk away, but he remembered how much he once loved her. "You made your choice, Azrufa," he said at last. "Now you have to live with it." With that, he turned and walked away, the rain washing away any doubt. His path was still long, but he was finally free of his past.